friends, how are you doing? My name is Kim, also known as Yarning for a Smile, and today is October the 15th. It is 3:15 p.m. here in Alabama, and to be honest, it's a little warm out here. I'm not gonna lie, setting all this up so I can record got me a little glistening. Okay, so I apologize for the glistening. It's a really pretty day. I wanted to get more of the woods, but the sun is like blinding out everything behind me. So you get a plant. And this is a lavender scallop. Isn't it lovely? It was in the house and then it went crazy, so I had to put it outside because it's taking over. I just want to say thank you for checking out this video. And by the name, Yarning for a Smile, obviously I have a slight addiction / obsession with all things yarn, knitting, crochet, and a little bit of cross stitch and other things. Today, I kind of just want to check in mid-month, see how everyone was doing. I've done some lives, but I know some people don't like lives, and that's okay. Sometimes I try to catch replays of other people's lives, but a lot of times, time just doesn't allow for it, and I completely understand. Which is also why I like to put up pre-recorded content. I can edit out some of the dead areas as well as my moments of what am I trying to say. And then sometimes I just leave them in for their comical value because I tend to have those moments. I think we all do. I can laugh at myself and I'm okay with it. So as you can see, I have on my Join the Fight Breast Cancer Awareness t-shirt. I do have a short that I made of some knitted knockers. Those are all ones that I have actually made in the past. I think I've made like 13 or 14 pair. I can't make, maybe a little bit more, I can't remember. Breast cancer advocacy is something that I am very much strongly compelled to talk about because I myself carry the BRCA gene, which means that my chances of developing breast cancer are extremely high because I carry the gene that turns into breast cancer. I've also lost several women in my life, and because of that I've had mammograms since I was about 35 years old, and I actually get a mammogram and a breast MRI every year and have been for about the past 5 years or so, which is not fun, I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I know I need to do to ensure that I'm here for the ones I love. So, in saying that, if you have not had a mammogram, maybe you're scared to have your first mammogram, please reach out to me in one of the social media channels. I will talk to you about what it entails. It's not bad. There's a lot of people say it's horrible. I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it's so much better than the alternative, okay? I mean, let's just be real. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me, try to help you through that process. PSA is over. Let's get into the fun part, shall we? So you may have seen my other video go up prior to this on October the 6th, which was labeled my Stephen West MKAL video, Twists and Turns. Twists and Turns is a pretty much accurate name for this. I love Stephen West. I think he has one of the most brilliant designing minds, as well as his use of color and texture to bring you through a knitting journey like nothing I've ever seen in my life. His patterns just have this look to them, like you see them and you know that they are his. Like that to me is a good representation of what an amazing designer is. When you can look at their stuff and think, oh, I know exactly who designed that, then that is literally them coming through their designs so we can enjoy it. And that is just a beautiful process and a way to share your love and creativity with the world. I mean, it's just amazing. And if you watched that video, you also saw that I was not going to join this knit along. I have 12 works in progress. those are the ones that are actually on my Ravelry whip thing currently. And there's actually one that's a baby blanket that's crochet that's, I think it's showing it's hibernating, so it's not even showing as an active whip. So that would be 13. And then I recently wound some yarn for another pair of knitted knockers that I plan on casting on my birthday. That would be 14. So I did not need another cast on. And yet, here we are. Here we are. It is week 2 of the Stephen West knit along. Now, I would love to tell you that I have been like this amazing knitter with all this time, and I have sat down and knocked out the first clue, and that I am working my way through the second clue. But that would be an utter lie. Because that is not what happened. So what happened was, no, seriously, what happened was I was actually doing that. I was actually working the first clue. And I don't swatch, which we've already covered that in the other video. And I do use stitch markers, so I got that going for me. I don't do lifelines, although if you ask me, I'm going to say, hey, be on the safe side and put in a lifeline. I don't use lifelines. And so we were watching TV, and there was some sinus medicine taking because it's fall, y'all, in Alabama. And even though it's fall, we still have pine trees that pollinate. And we still have dust because it's kind of droughish, I guess. Is that even a term? But we actually had rain the other night, which kind of helped with some of the dust and some of the pollen. And I get it every year. Usually this time of year, I've already gone to the doctor's office and got shot up with cortisone. So thankful that hasn't happened yet this year, because that's fun when that does. I was on repeat number 4, which is half of the repeats that you're supposed to be doing for this first clue. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing everybody else's pictures being asymmetrical, because mine was. So basically I was doing all my increases on one side, but neglecting to do them on the other side of the other half of the shawl. Like I did it for half, but not all of it. And so there was like a big discrepancy in stitches. And while I could go in and like pull up some strings and make some stitches, I know that when I look at that it's going to drive me insanely bonkers, and I'm not going to be happy with it. And I just don't want to do it. I don't want to push myself through a knit just to be done with a knit. I'm not that kind of knitter. This used to be a big thing that went around social media all the time, and I haven't seen it in a while. It goes over the difference between a process knitter or crocheter and a product knitter and crocheter, and those are not the same things. Typically people fall into one or the other. Occasionally you get the odd people who are kind of somewhere in the middle, but for the majority, you're going to be one or the other. To give you a little breakdown, process knitters don't care what they're knitting or crocheting. They just love the act of doing it. There is something about the rhythm and the flow of the stitches and the yarn in their hands, and the process of seeing that string become something that is a actual object. We do not mind ripping things back. We do not mind tinking things and going down 30-something stitches to fix something, which is something I have done before. And I'll actually insert a photo of that here, because I was speaking about that the other day and someone was like, you did what? But yes, in knitting I dropped down, I think it was like 37 stitches to fix one little mistake, which probably no one would have noticed anyways, but again, I would have seen it. And it's really nothing to me about perfectionism, and maybe there is a little bit of perfectionism in the way that I view my crafts, but it's more of the process and the ability to take the time to do that, to drop down and to fix it and to learn from that is more important to me than just skipping over it and having a finished object. Now, in saying all that, there is nothing wrong with being a product knitter or crocheter. There's really not. Product knitters and crocheters may really enjoy the act of knitting and crocheting, but they tend to gravitate towards the quick, what I like to call the quick kits, or the quick knits, or the quick crochets. They like big chunky yarn or heavier weight yarn and things that are going to get in, get them done, get that burst of endorphins from that finished object and moving on to something else. And that is okay. You could be one of those people who knit or crochet for business purposes. This could be your extra money of your livelihood. And if so, you have to be a product crafter to be able to accomplish those goals. However, some of us are not that way. And I am one of those people who are not that way. And so I just can't make myself leave an error or mistake and go on. I would much rather drop down, fix it, or just rip it out entirely if I'm enjoying the process of doing it. And in this case, this was one of those things where I was just like, meh, I'm just gonna rip it all out. And the next morning, which was Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember. Again, sinus headache, fuzzy memory. I started over. So I went from being on the 4th repeat to being on the, where am I at now? I think I'm like, I can refer to my notes because I keep a knitting notebook because I'm also one of those kind of people. I'm on my 6th repeat right now. I'm actually almost done with it. I have 3 more rows of being done with a 6th repeat. I'm also in the middle of a row. So this is what I got going on right now. And I'm happy to say that no, I have not missed any stitches, increases. It's been smooth sailing. I think also the reason I couldn't wrap my brain around where to do my increases the first time was because honestly, I wasn't prepared going into this. Usually if I'm going to do a knit, I research whatever I'm knitting or crocheting, especially if it's a big project. And this one's almost like 2,000 yards. So I consider that a big project, especially when it's fingering weight yarn. And so usually I will go through and research the pattern. I'll read over it completely, which mystery knit along, so you can't really do that. But I'll kind of get an idea. And even before I start a clue, you know, I'll just still read the whole thing completely, whatever part of the clue that I have. And I'll sit there for a minute and I'll basically chart it in my mind. I guess is the best way to describe what I do. I'm very much a chart lover for that reason, because I can look at it and I can see what I'm going to do, what the stitches are going to do, where they're going to go, and how they're going to increase, decrease, or move, and how that's going to relay into the object that I'm creating itself. And I didn't really do that with this one. I got the clue, I sat down and I started working on the clue. It came and bit me in the bum. Which is fine, actually, because, like I said earlier, ripping it out and starting over, I also went back and did something that I usually do every knit or crochet that I do. And that is, I either put it on the Knit Companion app and I highlight certain things, or I print off the repeats and I highlight certain things. I cannot show you my notebook because obviously it's the pattern, but what I do is I printed off the main repeat of one and I put it in two parts. So I have the first part, which is the contrast color, and it's on a separate piece of paper. And then I have the bottom part, which is the main color. Each make one right is marked and highlighted in one color. Each make one left is highlighted in one color. Each SSK is highlighted in one color. And then the individual repeat in each individual row is highlighted in a separate color that's all different per each row. So each time I look at it, I have a visual cue of color of one, what row I'm on and what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I have a piece of washi tape that I just stick, that I've kind of folded over on one end to kind of make a tab, and I stick it and I move it on the sheet of paper on what row I'm on. So again, it's a visual aid. When I look down, I know exactly where I am. So I can work on this while I'm watching TV, etc. And that has been the most effective process for me because I've been able to watch lots of TV. I've been Netflixing a lot of, I love to actually Netflix foreign series. I love voiceovers. I don't know why. It's so weird. I do. I like to read what they're saying and read the pattern at the same time because I'm just an oddball. But that's where that color comes in for me. So this is where I'm at on my repeat. Again, I'm almost to repeat 6. And I'm using some Malintosh yarns. Tosh sock. So this is Malintosh yarns, Tosh sock, and that is Sleeden. It's this pretty blue color right here. And I have 2 skeins of these. I actually bought these from my old yarn store before they closed down. And then this red is actually Nectar. And I really like it. I really like how it's coming out. I love this yarn. This yarn has a very, very tight twist. And that tight twist is what gives it such great stitch detail. And my third color, or as Stephen West says, your accent color, is some Cameo yarns. And this is Asleep Under the Mountains of Gold and Into the Lord Dragons, which is a colorway based off The Lord of the Rings, which is one of the shows that we're watching right now. The prequel, which is really, really good, by the way. You should watch it. So this is how they're going to be together. And I love this combo. It makes me very happy. It's very kind of soft, but there's a lot of color. I love this. Some good mustard, y'all. And I'm excited. I haven't even looked at the second clue yet. I haven't even opened up my email, so I have no idea what that in stores for me and what's going to be. But I'm excited to see how this color comes in. Play with this. Watch. I know this is going to be braided up, and I'll show that later on. I just haven't messed with it yet because I'm still knitting it, and it's not that big of a deal to me. Like, I'll do that at the end. But I did see where a lot of people are not loving this at all. At all. They are hating this little braided thing, and they're complaining that it's going to be too bulky. But, I mean, I think it's pretty cool, actually. I really like the chevron, and I like how it's going to be braided up the middle. And I enjoy doing the chevron pattern. It's once you get going, it's a very easy to remember repeat. And it's living, like I said, in my evergreen bags, which is from the bag maker from Russia. And I don't know if I linked her Etsy shop down below last time, but I'll go back and do that. In here I also have some Gnome Acres. This is a lotion bar. Y'all, this thing is so old. So, Gnome Acres has not, they shut down a while back, but they used to be a great yarn store, and she had these lotion bars, and she had some lip balms, and I've always loved her stuff. This is her Gnome Acres lotion bar and monkey farts. It smells delightful. But I have a bunch of her lotion bars, and I just haven't used them all, and it's only like an ounce. But they live in various knitting bags. Also, in the land of my knitting, I have been working on my baby sweater, because this is what I was solely working on before the Stephen West Knit Along popped up even in my radar, because I was determined to get this done. And I was doing really good, and then the Stephen West came along. And I had a squirrely moment where I was like, ooh, new shiny project. Let's go into that one. I actually finished the body of my baby vertebrae. I even did the bottom rib on the baby vertebrae. And it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to kind of turn it so you can kind of see better. On the body, I picked up and knit all around the body and did the ribbing there. And then, so I can make life easier for me, I put both arms on a pair of needles, and I am magic looping the arms, doing 2 at a time. And this hasn't got knit on much because this has only been travel knitting, so it just kind of stays in my bag, and then I work on it when I'm riding in the car or sitting at an appointment, and it's worked quite effectively. And you can see I put my new marker on here. That is from Simply Serving, and it's part of her Halloween collection of 2022. I love the vintage things, and that's like one of the vintage Halloween decorations, and it just makes me so happy because it's a cat with a hat. But it's been a fun knit. It's gonna be a really cute baby thing to put up, so hopefully I'll get this done too this week. The problem is, though, I again got distracted, which is why I have 14 whips to begin with. I've been working on my Sophie's Universe, which I did not bring it out with me, but I'll insert some photos here. So on my Sophie's, when I ripped out the last time, I was about here, where I put that marker, and then I did all of this. So she is moving along quite well. But she is a wonderful, fun pattern where you can learn all kinds of stitches. There's so much detail. And I'm using literally all kinds of scraps. But I did a lot. I haven't tried blocking her at all during the process, so she's got some bunches, which is fine. She's a scraptastic blanket. You know, a lot of the yarn I'm using is it's all worsted, but some of it is way older than even I am, because it came from my mother-in-law. Like this green, this original purple, this pink right here, which is why it's peeling so bad. This is I love this yarn, I think. But these are like DuPont. This lavender and that pink is like one of the old DuPont colors. And, you know, so it's a little bit different. It's a worsted, but it's still a little bit different gauge. But it's fine. When I wash it, I'll really pull it out and let the stitches relax. Maybe give it a little steam and relax even more, because I've gotten several rounds done. I think the last time I showed my Sophie's, I was on row 68, and now I'm on row 84. I have 7 more sections, because that's the way it was sent out during the knit along when they had it. I think it was like 2015, and so I have 7 more sections according to that before I'm done, because I'm only going to go to row 113. I don't think I'm going to do the border around with the smaller granny squares. I don't know. This thing has been on the needles for so long, I'm kind of just ready for it to be done, because there's a whole nother blanket that I want to start in crochet. There's actually 2. And I'm trying to keep my crazy down to a minimum. But it's very hard, and I don't do a really good job at that, because in the process of working that and starting this shawl, I have been seeing some really cute crochet hats on social media channels. I've really been wanting to start on my, I guess, ministry, or you can say, but my own little charity thing of knitting some hats and putting in Ziploc bags with some cereal bars and snacks for local homeless community. So I have started that as well. And I actually started that this morning because I was looking on Ravelry yesterday when Crystal, who is Hook That Yarn, was doing her live. I was, you know, pattern searching, because I've been trying to build up my queue, because 2023 is going to be the year of the queue for me, where I'm just going to try to knit and crochet things on my queue and get that to a number that is normal. Because right now there's like 340 something things on that thing, which is not normal, that I want to knit and crochet, and majority of them I already have yarn picked out for them. So something's got to happen, because it just keeps getting stuff added on. At this rate, if I don't work on it, I'm never going to get all these things that I want. So I actually had some yarn left over from a pattern that I made a while back for my husband, and this was in 2019, 2020, because I made it around Christmas. But when I show this, it's going to bring back some memories of all controversy that surrounded this single pattern, because this one pattern caused a lot of conversations to be had in different groups regarding copyright, either on one side of the fence or the other. There were some who were like me and kind of in the middle. I do completely understand Disney going after the designer, because this was their brainchild and their intellectual property. But I do also feel bad for the designer that a big company like Disney came after her. And from what I understand, she even had a finished one of these on eBay that she was selling, because when this movie came out, there wasn't a lot of merchandise for this character. And so she stepped in to fill a void, and she designed this perfectly made pattern that was an excellent replica of Baby Yoda / Grogu. You know, she did call it the Disney name. So this pattern went off like wildfire, and it was the big thing. I forgot how many she sold. It was ridiculous, and it was in like a short period of time, like a weekend. And she made a lot of money from it, because again, this is something that everyone wanted. And people who were making them and selling them were making a lot of money from it. And obviously, Disney's not going to have that, y'all. Disney is going to shut that down, and that's what Disney did. They sent her a letter, threatened litigation, and she had to pull down her eBay auction. She had to change the name of the pattern, and she has several posts, you know, all throughout the time regarding it. But the pattern is by Alice Hoffman, and her website is craftyiscool.com. It's now called the Bear Cub Child, so she can get around the rules of, I guess, copyright. And I made one for my husband, because we, again, like the Star Wars. So he is pretty big. As you can see, he's bigger than my head, so he can stand right here on my little shoulder, and he's taller than my head and my neck. But I use this green color, which is called Buttercream Luxe Craft Alpaca. And he even has baby butt crack. Just so funny. I like his little fingers. He's got his ears. And I love the detail around his eyes. He's got some felt under there to kind of make them look more realistic. I don't really like how my mouth came out. Kind of make it more pouty. Because, you know, he's always like on the thing because he's kind of upset. The jacket is made of, this is, I think, some Bernette blanket. And I forgot what this is called. Okay, yeah, so this is actually Bernette Pipsqueak. This is Bernette blanket. And then the Buttercream Luxe Craft Alpaca Solids. Really heavy. I think he weighs like almost 2 or 3 pounds. I don't know if it's because of all the stuffing or all the yarn. But I used some makeup in his ears to kind of give him some color in his ears, which I think helps play a good, You know, it kind of really makes them look like they have some depth into them. But I love him. I think he turned out super fun. And I love making stuffies. But ironically, this color is almost the exact same color that I'm already using. So apparently, this color just speaks to me right now. Because this is the first thing I grabbed to like make a hat with. And I'm like, getting it out, and I'm like, oh, geez. Not really going against the grain on this one. But I do enjoy the color. So I'm using this to make a hat that I found on Ravelry. There's actually a bunch of them that I'm making that I want to make. But this is called the 1.5 hour crochet beanie. So I started it this morning and I have done my ribbing. And it utilizes, that's my seam, which is not perfect. But it's fine. I think it won't be able to see that much in the back. But I've done my ribbing. And this utilizes the slip stitch ribbing. So there's really 3 main types of crochet ribbing. In case you do not know, we will go over them. There's this one, which is called the slip stitch. It utilizes slip stitches. And then there's one called the single crochet, and then one that uses a double crochet. But the slip stitch is the most stretchiest. The second stretchiest is going to be single crochet, and the third is the double crochet, and it's like the least stretchy of them all. But I do love the look of the slip stitch. Now granted, it takes forever to go around and do, but it's one of those things that, you know, it's gonna look good when it's done, because you make it with negative ease. And this is a free pattern, so I will link this down below in the description. So like my head is 21 inches in circumference, and I'm making a 18, let's right at 18 inches of a brim. So I did the slip stitch brim back and forth and made like a long panel that was 18 inches, and then I seamed it to the back. And now I'm picking up my stitches to start the actual portion, head portion of the hat. Share a photo here of the finished object, and I'm going to give credit because this is not my photography. This is not my hat. This is the designer's work. I'm just sharing it so you can see what it looks like to encourage you to go make it. But again, the pattern will be down below. So I'm enjoying how this works out. I've only got to work on it this morning for very little time, and so that's why there's only a brim. But it's supposed to be an 1.5 hour hat. But to be honest, the reason I started this right now is even though I'm very much a process knitter and crocheter, I just want to FO. I need some kind of endorphin release of having a finished object, because it's been a while. It's been a while. And I just really want something to be like, hey, I actually finished something. Yay me. Congratulations, you did good. The last time I finished something was looking at my project pages in July. It was the last day of July though, so that has to account for something. And that was a sock kid beanie. And I just keep casting on new things, which is why I have a ever so much growing lip problem. I feel like saying it out loud is going to help me overcome it. I don't know. Probably not. But that's just how I feel. So that is that. But I did get something in today that I want to show. And in case you didn't know, because I don't know. I don't know how you could have not have known. I've known about this for a couple of weeks and I'm beyond excited. I'm way more excited than I should be for this. But McDonald's is supposedly, and this is even on their website, and I will link this also below, but they are supposedly bringing back the really cute Happy Meals, the plastic Halloween trick-or-treat buckets, like from the 80s, back out around the 18th to McDonald's. And when you buy a Happy Meal, it's going to be in these plastic trick-or-treat buckets, like from the 80s. They're also coming out with an adult version Happy Meal, which is just basically like a Big Mac, fries, and a drink in like an adult Happy Meal box, a bigger Happy Meal box, which I also think is pretty fun. And you do get like a little action figure. They're not toys if they're for adults. They're action figures to go with that. But to be honest, I could care less about that. I'm more excited about the Halloween Happy Meal in these plastic totes, because I remember those when I was a kid and I always loved them. Like, they're just the cutest thing. There's an orange pumpkin, I think the purple witch, and then a black cat or bat or something like that. I can't remember. While I'm trying to, reel in my excitement for these, because they don't come out till I think the 18th, which is Monday. And yes, I will be getting me a Happy Meal on Monday. And I'll be recording that for you guys. I saw on the Instagram that one of the amazing creative people that I follow actually was creating something to sell in her shop. In kind of like her own little spirited way to celebrate this wonderful thing that's coming back to us. Sorry for the crinkly. She sent me a little card. Aw. So when I made my purchase from her, I put on, because I've actually met her. It's her business name is, and y'all don't understand how much it excites me. Like, when I didn't think she was going to remember who I was. So I'm trying not to. Okay, so this is her card. It's MKAL, and she is Twin Mommy Creations. And she does hand-dyed yarn, spinning bats, unique notions, quirky earrings, and custom engraving. And when I made my purchase, I put on the notes, hey, you probably don't remember me, but I met you at Stitches South a couple of years ago. This was when I was in Atlanta. It's probably been like 2 or 3 years, if not more. But, hey, it was just, it was really fun meeting you, and I'm so excited that you made these because they're adorable. And so she actually put a note on my thing, which says, of course I remember you. You picked out the chicken colored yarn, and I did. She actually remembers me and the yarn I picked out because we had this conversation, which just makes my heart so happy. So if you see this, Anne, thank you for that, because that just made my day. And I love that yarn, and I still haven't knit it because I haven't found the perfect project for it yet. But I know it'll come to me, and then it'll go in my queue, and I'll eventually make it because I'm a craftaholic. But I bought something for her. Before I show you what she created, she also sent, oh my goodness, these cute little stitch markers that have little skulls on them, and they're orange with red dots. I don't know if you can, there we go, you can see it there. Those are really cute. Like this, look at that, so cute. These are great to use. I stick these on everything and use them everywhere. But I saw her put these up, and I think I saw the post immediately or not long after she put it up, and I knew I had to order them before she sold out. And they come in this adorable little plastic case, but she has made, and I forgot the correct name that she called them so she doesn't violate, but they're the Happy Meal stitch markers. It's the Green Witch, y'all. My goodness, do you see the Green Witch? And it's got this glitter. It's almost embossed, I guess. It's got black glitter, and it's on a lobster claw because that's what I chose. You can get a ring, but I like lobster claws because I like to use them as stitch markers or progress keepers. The orange pumpkin. Oh, and the other one was a white ghost. Maybe it wasn't a black cat, but it's the white ghost. Y'all, I mean, come on. I don't get excited for that many things, but this is one of them. Because it's so cute. Oh my goodness. So they're like a hard plastic, acrylic. But y'all, I just can't. I just can't with the cuteness. And I love that she sent them in this little container so I can keep them together. It's like their own little travel box. This little travel container, stitch markers in a little travel container. Adorable. Some fun things here to show. And this is kind of long, but I'll edit it down. But I apologize, it's been a while. My friend Deborah sent me a package the other day, and I showed the mug a while back that she sent me, but she also sent me this, and I don't think I showed this. Maybe I did. If not, yay. If I did, sorry. But it's little wellies, and these are band-aids, but they're in a container, and if you see what's on the front of it, And I was like, oh, I bet it's only on the packaging. It's got sunglasses with reflective stuff on it on the actual tin. How cute is that? Because I am a boy mom, and we do take all kind of fun, not really vacation, day trips for various homeschool activities. But this is adorable. This is all kind of adorable. And it's assorted kid bandages, flex fabric. And it even has like some sun and stars that shine on the side. And it is slap full of some bandages. And I love this because not only because it has a bunch of bandages, but I can easily refill this. And that tin is, because it's a tin, it's absolutely adorable. Adorable. Yeah, she knows me all too well. Now, to explain this. This is a whole lot of fall, y'all. And it's a whole lot of pretty fall. I went into Michael's, and I have a live that's up. It's actually, it went up Saturday, but I think it's still showing in the private. After I did the live, they automatically default to private, so I have to make sure everything is finished uploading for that, and then I'm going to make it go public so you can watch that. But I was there, and I picked up these 4 colors of yarn. These 4 are the Lion brand Heartland yarns, and these 4 just really screamed fall to me. And the reason I got these is because I have a notebook. It's not even this notebook, it's a whole different notebook. And I just jot down ideas of patterns in there. And I never really wanted to write patterns per se, but the more and more I get back into the crafting and the pull of crafting, I want to get these patterns made and off the paper, so to speak. And I really want to do something with fall. And I have an idea, I have this one just wrote out as far as a name with like the thought behind it, but I haven't really charted it, so I want to kind of chart it. And I don't know if I want to do a knitting or crocheted. Maybe crochet, I don't know. I want to learn more about crochet design making and how to use stitches in a way for fabric flow and height of the stitches. And I think this is a good way for me to do that because I learn through wanting to make something. That's how I've learned how to do all of my previous makes. Like if I want to make them, I want to make that, so I have to learn how to do it. And I start making it and I learn how to do it. And I really wanted to use this fall palette because I'm really in this whole fall spirit right now. Like I just wake up and it's cool outside and it just gives me this urge to go craft and to go create. And so this is a great time for me to play on that. But Lion brand Heartland is a worsted weight yarn. This is 5 ounces of 142 grams. It is 251 yards or 230 meters. And it's 100% acrylic. But I've always loved the Heartland yarn. I think it's very pretty. And this one's kind of more of a heathered look opposed to a solid color. This one is actually the Badlands. And it's this really pretty, and you can see the heather in it, the lighter colors with the darker tones. And I'm kind of losing my sun, but it's just because it's behind a cloud. It'll come back out, y'all. And then this one is Black Canyon. And you can see the blips. That cloud is kind of messing with me. You can see the blips of the lighter color in it. And then I got one of Yosemite. It's orange with like darker orange blips in it. And then I got a Cannon Lands. And it's like a mustard with a more of a Dijon mustard color. So they're all very, very pretty palette. It was also a really pretty green color that they had. But they were on sale, buy one, get one half off. So when I in the Michaels and getting those for, I remember I showed the Facets yarn, and it made me think about a hat that I had seen that came out a couple years ago that utilized that yarn, and it was a crochet hat. And so that's kind of one of the reasons I was spending that time on Ravelry hunting patterns, is because I was trying to track this hat down, and I did. I should have saved it then to like you, but I didn't. But I was able to find it, so that's all that matters. And I'll be linking it down below as well, because it is a free pattern, and this originally came out in 2018, I think is when it was published. Let me look. Yes, October the 27th, 2018. And that's why I remember, because it was close to my birthday and Halloween. But it utilizes the Loops and Threads Facet Stones, which is actually discontinued, and it's more of a super bulky weight yarn. But I'm thinking I should be able, because the crazy thing is the pattern weight they have it as an Aran. And this hat's been made 219 times, which is a lot. Looking at all the projects, 27 people made it out of the worsted in number 4. You know, sometimes, even though Red Heart is considered a worsted weight, it's also sometimes called an Aran weight yarn. Because Aran and worsted kind of, it depends on just the thicker side of it. 69 people used the Aran weight with it, this pattern. And only 18 people used a bulky, and only 9 people used a super bulky. So I'm thinking I'm going to try this with one of the facets in the 4 and see how it goes. So I picked up the color Autumn. Again, very fitting. And if you notice, I noticed this when I got home, like it has these colors in it, which are very, very similar to the color that I'm using. This apparently just is a color for me right now, and I can't get past it. But I picked up the color Autumn to use with this, because the way that this is written is the stitch detail kind of really accentuates the different colors of the skein really well. And I thought it'd be fun to make. And again, I need some quick hits in my life, because I've got so many like big projects. I need something small and gratifying, but I'm also a process crafter, so it is what it is. But while I was there, I picked up another colorway from it, and this one has a nouveau sticker on it, but this is called Flame, and it is this gorgeous reds and yellows. Look at all that. Ooh, yeah. And the reason I picked up this, not for me, my friends, but for you, because I want to have a hidden giveaway in this video. If you watch this video, and I might kind of lead a little bit in the description that, hey, there might be a reason to watch this, and I may use some chapters so people can kind of get around to the different sections a little bit more. We'll see. But if you would like to win this lovely skein of Loops and Thread Facets yarn in the nouveau colorway of Flame, and this is a number 4 weight, 279 yards, which is 3.5 ounces, 256 meters, 100 grams. Then I want you to leave a comment below using the word flame, and I'll put it right here like I always do, so you can spell it correctly, so that way when I do the random comment picker and I type in that keyword, it will pull those comments and choose a winner. So the word is flame, F-L-A-M-E, and again, right here, it's going to go across your screen one more time, and you're just going to write a comment with that word in there. Now, for this giveaway, all the normal stuff, YouTube is not associated with it, nor is Loops and Threads, or Michaels, or any other being other than myself. Also, winner needs to be in the US, because shipping has gone up again. But if you have not watched that video where I interviewed Lisa Hennessy and her book called Knit, Pray, Share, do so, everyone, because there is a giveaway in the comments of the video, and I'll choose that winner on October the 25th, and you have to be, again, a member of my channel and Lisa's channel. All my giveaways you need to be subscribed to me, because it's for my subscribers. It's just the way it is. But this one also, you need to be a U.S. resident with U.S. address. Because right now I'm not monetized, so all this, you know, shipping, it just comes straight from my money as well as prize buying. So, you know, one day I hope to get monetized so I can open up my giveaways more to worldwide. But right now I can't, unfortunately, and I'm sorry. But this is really, 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 really pretty. And one of you guys are gonna get this. So that's going to be a fun giveaway. And then I also picked up a couple other things that I'm not going to show you for a future giveaway. So lots of giveaways going on my channel. But all 3 of those are for U.S. residents only at this time. So that is really all I have for you guys today. I will be getting this video edited and up as soon as I can, hopefully by, you know, tomorrow afternoon before Monday. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being part of my community. You know, I'm so close to reaching that community tab, which is going to allow me to share out your videos and sales and things that I see, you know, along my travels of the knitting and crochet world. And I'm just so excited to get that, to really be able to celebrate other people in the community. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I never thought this channel would do so well, because I'm just me, this little Alabamian girl who really likes yarn and to meet people, and I don't have anything snazzy or special at all, but I am ever so much grateful and humbled by the blessings and the love that I experienced with all of you. And I really look forward to seeing you every day in different chats and seeing your feeds. And I try to catch replays, and I try to watch some of your videos. And I just love the community. So thank you so much for being part of my community and helping me get to a point where I can help other smaller channels, you know, grow their own community. But yeah. So I will get with you all later in a new updated video to show you some more progress on this. So I hope you all have a great end, and thank you for watching. Bye! Happy yarning!